mathematics, we're given a list of numbers right here which follows a particular rule, so that it would be called a sequence. So we'll be finding the term to term rule of this sequence. Before that, we should know what a term is. So this is going to be the first term of our sequence, this is going to be the second term, this is going to be the third term, and this is going to be the fourth term. Now we need to find what the term to term rule is. That means that what pattern or what rule these numbers are following. So we see that this 3 added by 3 would make a 6, and this 6 added by 3 again is going to make a 9, whereas this 9 added by another 3 would make a 12. So the term to term rule here, I'll just make a short form of it. The term to term rule for this sequence is to add 3, right? But also we need to we'll be given questions which would give us like the fourth term, and they'll ask us to find the first term, and they're going to say that the term to term rule was to add 3. So to go backwards in a sequence, we just do the inverse of our term to term rule. That just means that we do the opposite of what they're telling us to do, right? So if 12 minus 3 would give us a 9, whereas a 9 minus 3 would give us a 6, and a 6 minus 3 would give us a 3. That's how we would answer questions like that. Now let's look at some practice questions. First of all, they've told us, they're asking us, write the term to term rule for the following. Now they've given us a sequence right here, and we see that from 5, how can we make 5 to a 5 whole 1 upon 4? That's just addition of 1 upon 4, right? Now how are we going from 5 whole 1 upon 4 to 5 whole 1 upon 2? So that's another addition of 1 upon 4. So let's make it clear, the denominator is changed here, right? So if we add, I'll do it right here, if we add another 1.4, we can say that gave us a 2 upon 4. So if we simplify that, that gave us a 5 whole 1 upon 2. So this is what we see in the third term of the sequence. Now they did another addition of 1 upon 4 that gave us 5 whole 3 upon 4. Now they can also give us a question to find out the next terms, like find the fifth term or find the sixth term of this, right? So if we were to do that, it would give us 5 whole 4 upon 4, right, which would be simplified into ones, and that would make a 6. So our fifth term of this sequence would be a 6, right? And then the next one would be 6 1 upon 4, and so on. Now let's look at let's look at part B. So we're going to analyze the addition of how much would give us from 5.4 to 5.8. That's just an addition of 0.4, right? Then we see that's another addition of 0.54, and then the same goes on, plus 0.4, right? So our term to term rule would be add 0.4, right? Let's go on our next question. So over here they say the first term of a sequence is 4. The first term of a sequence is 4. The term to term rule is to add 4.5. So what is the third term of the sequence? So let's do this one by one. They said that the first term of the sequence is 4, and the term to term rule is add 4.5, right? So we need to find the third term, right? This was the first term, then second, and then third. So we'll just add 4.5, that would give us 8.5, and then the next term would be 13, right? If we add 4.5, that would give us a 13, right? We completed this question. Our next question says that the first term is 12. The first term is 12, and the term to term rule is to divide it by 2, then add 5, right? It's in two parts. And what is the fourth term of this sequence, right? We are to find the fourth term, right? So let's make a few dashes over here. 1 2 3 and 4, right? I'll make commas between them. This is the sequence, okay? So they said that the first term is 12, and the term to term rule here is to divide by 2. We're supposed to divide by 2, then we have to add 5 to get to the next to get to the second term, right? So let's do that. Let's divide 12 by 2 and then add a 5. That would give us 11, right? And then again, to go from the third term to the fourth term, we'll divide by 2 and then add 5. That would give us a 10.5. And then we do the same thing again. We divide by 2 and then add 5. That would give us 10.25. So that's how we do this question. Now looking at the last example we have here, they're saying that the fourth term of a sequence is 442, and the term to term rule is to add 3 and then multiply it by 2. Now the question is, what is the first term? Right now it's gonna be in a few parts. Right now we know that how many they've given us the fourth term. Let's go like that, and then the fourth term is 442, right? And then the term to term rule is, let's draw these. The term to term rule is to add 3 then multiply it by 2, right? Add 3 then multiplied by 2, add 3 and then multiplied by 2. Now to go from the fourth term to the first term, we'll be going this way, right? So we have to just to make the inverse of the term to term rule we have, right? They told us to first plus 2 and then multiply it by first they told us to plus 3 and then they tell us to multiply by 2, right? So the inverse of it would be first to divide it by 2 then subtract by 3, right? Divide by 2 then subtract by 3, and the same over here, divide by 2 and then subtract by 3. Now let's write our answers, right? If we divide 442 by 2 and then subtract it by 3, that would give us a 218, and then we do the same, that would give us 1.106, and then the first term would be 50 if we follow these rules right here, right? The inverse rules.